Good afternoon, everybody. You already know who it is. Target individual CJBK. So yeah, it's been a while since I posted a video. It's mostly because I just been focusing on a particular thing that I'm trying to do or figure out when it comes to the directed energy, the frequencies, the tactics through their evolution of gang stalking and harassment. Because the more you figure out about them, they change their tactics. They try, as you evolve, they try to evolve. So they're constantly changing as you're constantly learning about them, right? So, but yeah, for the most part, I am working on editing this one video. My magnets got stolen. But I have forgot my magnets out by this beach that I was at. But yeah, so okay, so one thing I need for people, for targeted individuals and those who are worried about their targeted individual friends or relatives or whatever, is that you gotta remember that energy can be manipulated and energy can be controlled. Energy can be moved and energy sorry, I got distracted. And energy can be shifted. This is why, if you've ever noticed in many whether Buddhist or some Asian cultures, how they practice like Tai Chi or Qigong, it's basically the flow. It's like the study of the flow of energy in a sense. Let me see. So like, when you see the videos and they're kind of like this, and they say just hold your hands close together for a period of time and apply just a little bit of tension within your hands, right? Like imagine as if you're stiffening your hand to get ready to, like, let's say slap someone, right? But you're creating that tension in both of your hands, right? And you keep them real close, and then you slowly start to pull them apart. As you're pulling them apart, you can feel almost as if like a vacuum is now created in between your palms, like a vacuum of something being pulled in between your palms. That is energy. Now, what I haven't really necessarily figured out is if that's my energy or if that's their energy. I know because our energy is already our energy is already, protruding out, even from our crown, our energy can protrude out to as far as like 6 feet, at least that's what I read somewhere. And, when I'm focusing, on what's happening in between my palms, I can feel like the suction, like there's like a suction happening from my brain. And remember, they're connected. Their energy is connected to our energy. So as I'm pulling my hands apart, I feel the suction coming from the brain, but then I also feel it coming from my thyroid glands, because they're also targeting my thyroid. Remember, this is directed energy. They're using it from satellites and probably cell towers. And I've also learned that, they're emitting frequencies from the receiver of the cell phone. So they are emitting frequencies from the receiver of the cell phones. So if you ever took your thumb, I've mentioned this before in a past video. If you ever took your thumb and covered the receiver, where you listen to, take your thumb and cover the receiver. Make sure everything is off around you, that you can hear no other sounds. If you cover the receiver of your phone, do you hear something almost as if like something was turned down? You know, so that's one thing I've also learned, is that they're attacking us with many different things all at one time. Directed energy, frequencies that can either be heard through the ear. Well, actually, microwaves penetrate the skull, so they're aiming directly through the skull to whatever particular part of the brain that they want to reach. You know, and then something else I also realize is if you're feeling tension in your chest, more than likely that's a directed energy. And I know, like, you can do things that'll help you actually sense. You could feel the heat of that directed energy too. I need to let everybody know that you can actually feel the heat of the directed energy that is coming into the aura of your energy. You can feel it coming into you. So even if I do something as simple like this, I hold my hand out and I like I tense my hand a bit, right? All of a sudden I feel all of this energy kind of pulling right into my palm. And then I can even tense my left hand and I'll pull it up. And I can focus the energy and feel the energy actually shift up to my left hand. And then even I can take the energy like a ball, grow it, and when you bring your hands together, you could actually kind of feel the energy round out. You can feel the energy round out. So, but yeah, my magnets had got stolen, but I had forgot them out on the beach one day. And I figured, if I come back, maybe the magnet should still be there. Because I figured don't nobody really come out there like that. Lo and behold, well, obviously, they got my optic nerves and my the nerves that deal with my hearing, so they see where I'm at. They know where I'm going at all times. Doesn't matter. So they probably sent someone there to go and take my magnets. Well, it could be something as simple as maybe someone else knows about the same spot I like to sit at near the beach, and they probably seen my magnet and took it. Why somebody would just take a random stack of magnets they find in the sand, I don't know, but whatever. We talking about gang stalking here anyway. So, what else? Oh, right. Right, like one of my, favorite YouTube channel personalities I like to watch is this woman by the name of Still Standing, or at least that's what her channel goes by. I forgot. I don't think I know what her real name is, but yeah, she goes by Still Standing on YouTube, and she brings up a lot of great points about making sure you acknowledge that no matter what is happening, your best thing to do is not to react, because it's in that moment where you let your emotions get the best of you and you actually react to the things that are happening to you. Because remember, they're not gonna overtly just do things to you. They're not gonna overtly kill you. Why? Because they have to keep everything a secret. There's a reason why you're not going to end up, in the news because you were shot or you were stabbed or whatever the case may be. Why? Because they have to keep it a secret. Then on top of that, I just kind of think to myself, unless someone is actually paid to kill someone, or unless it's like some type of like gang initiation, or unless the person is probably, unless the person is probably psychologically ill, and maybe the person is an actual TI and was told to kill you or whatever, then I mean honestly, you don't need to really fear what they're saying as far as like trying to kill you and stuff. Yes, they're going to torture you. Yes, you might develop scars. Yes, you might get cancer. Yes, you might do all these things. They're killing you. Yes, they are killing you, but they're not going to kill you. You know, it's still on us to try to do whatever we can to learn whatever ways we can heal ourselves. So, whether it's through vibrational healing frequencies, whether it's through bathing in, bath salts, such as like I think somewhere I seen was like a combination of apple cider vinegar, Epsom salt, and Himalayan pink sea salt. I think that's what it's called. Um, that was known for like extracting radiation from the body and help getting rid of other toxins and stuff. What else? Of course, eating healthy, exercise, and well, I know it's hard to get proper sleep when you're a TI, because trust me, they wake me up at various times of the night, knowing I gotta get up at, like, my alarm would go off at like 2:45 in the morning. They would have me wake up in various times of the night, even when I'm in like perfect sleeping conditions, room temperature and everything. They'll still wake me up in random times of the night. And a lot of times I'm waking up because of the transmitted dream manipulations. Um, but I know one thing for certain though, they're not that secret. They're not that secret. Because here's the one thing that really gets me, and it really makes me so happy, because it lets me know, oh, the end is so near. And I know regardless of what happens to me in this life, on this earth, whatever happens to me, I already know the snowball is rolling. The snowball is rolling, and there's about to be a huge shutdown on all of this. And then, not for nothing, the sun has been very, very active when it comes to solar flares and everything. So I'm already aware that there's a lot that's about to go down. Well, she done told me not to eat in here because all these crumbs, and I did it anyway. But yeah. So I'm gonna just tell you this, right? Keep yourself grounded, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Keep yourself grounded. Keep yourself grounded physically. Take some time out, throughout the day, to go and plant your feet on some grass or some earth, or go step into the ocean water, or step into a lake. You need to ground yourself from time to time throughout the week, because you need to get into a habit of finding that equilibrium of energy in your body. You need to get back to a point where you can actually maintain a steady, healthy flow of energy within your body. Because remember, their directed energy is to increase the amount of electrical charge that's in your body. And remember, too much positive charge in your body can actually cause and induce illnesses, disabilities, whether physical, psychological. It can cause autoimmune diseases. It can disrupt your immune system entirely. Once that myelin sheath around your nerves get deteriorated, and that it's over. Like, you're about to start experiencing some crazy things. And I've gotten to a point where they've been torturing this one particular nerve in my lower back. I think it's somewhere by T4, either T4 or T5, somewhere around there. I don't know, somewhere in my my lumbar area, whatever. Is that T? I don't know. But somewhere they've been torturing that area for so long now. Now when they do it, I get the most craziest sensation of feeling like I stuck my left foot in Not even stuck my left foot in water, almost as if like someone took a bucket of ice water and threw it on my left leg, just my left leg. And or not even the left leg, the foot, my left foot. And then this kind of like vibratory pain would travel. It was like a vibratory numbing pain would travel from my left hip all the way down to the toes of my left foot. And it will only be on that left side. I don't ever really get it on the right side. It'll always be on the left side. So, and then also something else to keep in mind. Look, it's going to be extremely hard to try to figure out the who. So I'm telling y'all right now, don't worry too much about the who, because the who part, that's about to come out anyway. The who part is already about to come out. That's only but a matter of time. All you got to do is focus on shielding, detoxing, taking care of yourself, and controlling your emotions. They're going to manipulate your emotions anyway, because they're using technology to try to, manipulate you. Whether it's government funded, whatever, at this point, it doesn't matter who's doing it. You already know it's happening. You already know it's government, people, it's civilians, it's it's a number of different people. So the figuring out who doesn't matter. Figuring out how it's happening and figuring out how to protect yourself is the most important. First thing you need to do is get in connection with God. Get in connection with the spirit that's driving you. You need everyone everything on this planet was given energy by God, right? Everything on this planet that's living was given energy by God to live out a purpose. You need to reconnect with that energy within you. Even if you don't have to be a Christian in order to have a connection with God. You don't have to be a Buddhist. Not a Buddhist. You don't have to be you don't have to be Jewish. You don't have to be Islamic. Those are religions. You don't have to be religious in order to have a connection with God. And trust and believe God is very present in our life, and God is not someone who will just come for your need because you ask him to and when you want him to. God will come and work something out for you in the time that you're supposed to be worked out with, because there's sometimes there are some battles that are meant for us to endure and just have our faith and patience tested. And then there are some battles that we are supposed to just acknowledge right away and give it to God, and simply probably not even do anything to try to see if we can go on the offensive about it. For the most part, I think if God doesn't move you in a way to go in an offense against something, then you were supposed to play defense the entire time and let God take care of it. Just like Still Standing says, don't react, stand back, let God handle that. But I'm still working on editing this one video where I used my stack of neodymium magnets to actually pull. I was able to pull, like just holding the magnet just like this, like it was a stack of magnets, and I'm pinching it. Like I used my fingers and I'm holding it like this. And as I'm holding it, I can feel the energy, like their energy drawing to the magnet. And then as it's drawing to the magnet begins to turn on its own. And you can literally see that I'm not moving my fingers and the magnet is actually going along with it. And because I received the V2K, I can hear them in every reaction that they have to what's happening. So I don't necessarily have to communicate with them, or I don't have to say anything, or I don't have to think anything. I can just do things and they'll react to it, and I read their reactions. And the crazy thing is I keep telling my perps that, like, look, y'all have no idea how much y'all messed up and y'all keep making the same mistakes over and over. They don't even know what the mistake is, but I do. But I'm not going to think of what the mistake is because they're going to keep making the mistake every single day. And I want them to keep making that same mistake every single day. And I'm never going to think of what it is because I want them to keep making that mistake. So, but yeah, another thing to keep in mind is, I mean, we all know that this program has been going on for decades. And I think we all probably know by this point that, this whole program is meant for the advancement of New World Order's, basically total control of population. Because, I mean, if you're already aware of the New World Order's, agenda to control, then you're already aware that at some point there's going to be a much larger depopulation plot somewhere down the line in the future. COVID, that's just the beginning, and I don't think people realize that COVID was just the beginning. Because I mean, if you haven't figured it out by now, COVID-19 is basically that shit was made to be stronger than what it already was in Chinese labs. I mean, come on. If you haven't figured that part out yet, then I don't know. You're choosing to ignore things that are already right in your face. And it's not even really hidden. It's COVID's been around for decades. But then there's so much research and studies already showing that countries like America and India and Russia have been funding these scientists out in China to actually modify and alter the COVID virus. But I'm not this video isn't going to be about COVID. But I just wanted to let everybody know that I'm still here. Still working on some things, I know my attacks have definitely changed quite a bit because now that I'm in, my mom's house, I can't just turn off the circuit breaker, electricity, and then on top of that, here I'm sleeping on a mattress with metal springs in it. So it's like, this is worse than my couch. So, I'm constantly being radiated every single night. Like just laying on my bed, I can feel my body vibrating. So, I mean, it is what it is. And I'm just like, you know what? Let the U.S. government go ahead and continue lying to people. Let them continue telling the media, just keep pushing the Havana Syndrome title. Keep pushing that. Keep pushing that. You can't fool people who are already awoke or awake. You can't fool people who are already awakened. So everybody else, I don't know, everybody else is probably still asleep, but there's only a few 100,000 TIs in this world. And yet it seems like everyone who's actually willing to commit atrocities are the ones who's garnering the synthetic power over, populations of people. And then they would torture those who actually have God's loving light within them and who are strong with that light. They're torturing us. So then we can't be the positive influences in the future that we should be able to be. But lo and behold, because we're being persecuted, they don't even realize that they're actually strengthening us even more, making us even more powerful for the future. I mean, and then what's the best part is this flesh, this body, this heart, all of this isn't meant to live forever. This isn't meant to live forever. This body is literally meant to just encase our spiritual energy. It's just meant to encase our spiritual being, right? What they're trying to do is lock in onto our spirituality, onto our spiritual energy, and then draw energy from us to probably build their, artificial intelligence world and create avatars and to use our brain activities to basically put them in robots and whatnot, and believe you could choose not to believe the whole idea of transhumanism if you don't want to, but I mean, hell, all you gotta do is think about how far we have advanced when it comes to artificial intelligence. Look at Sophia. The robot that wants to become the robot that wants to get pregnant. Look at Sophia. That's where they're at least for now. That's where they're at publicly. But there's so much more past that. I mean, come on. A lot of this technology that they are using now has been around for centuries. And I mean, hell, even at some point, there were German secret societies that were actually testing out these devices, or the use of frequencies and pulse microwaves and everything like that on prisoners and Jews that they have in prison. So, and then there was a point where when Hitler realized they were losing the war, and for World War II, when Hitler realized they were losing the war, Hitler wanted the German secret societies to actually give him access to these weapons so then he could use it to defeat the US and the rest of the world. But then the German secret society was like, nah, you too crazy. We can't control you. We can't allow you to have access to these weapons. So, no, we can't give you these weapons. You're on your own. Then they took all those German scientists and all the inventions that they had or whatever, and they moved them to different parts of the poles of the world. North Pole, South Pole. They tried to move them all over the place. Antarctica, places where you would never really want to ever try to go to in order to find something. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna end it there. Just wanted to let y'all know I'm still alive and I'm still free for the most part. I'm not in jail, not in prison, and I'm still alive. And for the most part, I know my perps, they cooking up something. They keep telling me, oh, that we got a setup coming for you. I'm like, look, they're like, oh, Secret Service is looking for you. I'm like, why would they be looking for me when I'm always out in the open? Why would they be looking for me if I'm always out in the open? I deliver packages for a living. I'm not hiding nowhere. They're all doing the hiding. I'm as open as a tree outside. I'm not hiding nowhere. I'm not hiding my light. I'm not hiding who I am. I'm not hiding anything that I'm doing. I mean, what? They're like, they get on me, they like to Chris, stop smoking. You need to stop drinking. You need to stop doing this, And yet I don't really see a true reason to if I'm not being completely destructive to myself. Yes, I know these are bad habits, but at the same time, they're not completely destructive. But anyway, let me get off this so I can go on and do something else. But yeah, just wanted to let y'all know I'm all right. So remember, take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. And remember, you only have one mind, one spirit, one body, one God. Peace.